It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. Kicking off the show tonight, we heard American Angel from their self-titled debut release, and we heard After the Laughter. And we just heard something from the band Ed Guy from their Hellfire Club release, and that was called Navigator. And the guy navigating his way up to the mic is our good friend and partner, Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
What is up, sir? How we doing?
You know what? I was a little concerned that we may not get things going on time tonight because after our little afternoon meeting, I decided to stay in the studio since you've been working so diligently on the equipment and whatnot. I thought, you know what? It's been a while since I've tuned up the equipment here in the studio. So I went through and I basically I had to sync up the board and the computers and the rack and the recording and all that other stuff. Just checked in all the settings to make sure everything was all equal.
Right.
And while I was doing that, I decided to take a look at the server, and it was due for updates. So I went ahead and updated that. But then I noticed that the hard drive was almost full, and I was just like, what the hell is going on there? So I started getting into that and deleted a bunch of files and whatnot to free up about 5 or 6 gigs of hard drive space. And then when I did shut it down to reboot it, the updates had enough room to update.
Right.
So it started going into this whole update mode thing, and it literally took an hour and a half to do the entire update, whatever that was. And the server just came up at 9:15 Eastern time.
Right on time.
Right on time. But the thing is, I launched the broadcast program, the SAMs, and it came right up immediately.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, as soon as I hit it, it came up. It was ready to just hit play and go. And so it's like, well, I guess we had a bunch of junky files in there. So, that's how I spent my afternoon since speaking with you last.
Nice. So was it running slower? Did you notice it running slower at all? Or not?
You know what? I did a little bit. Because it's kind of running herky-jerky there a little bit, and now it seems to be running pretty smooth. So I deleted a bunch of backup files, deleted a bunch of update files. I deleted, service pack files. Probably been in there 15 years.
Nice. Well, of course, this doesn't want to work.
So you're playing around with the new video apparati.
I am,
and it just won't work for you.
We did an absolutely perfect test earlier. Now it's all fucking up.
Now it won't work.
Yeah, now it's for whatever reason it keeps shrinking your window.
Oh,
you're full screened, and then all of a sudden you're like tiny screened. So I don't know. I got it for now. So
I've been tiny screened.
You've been tiny screened.
Yeah, pal.
But it's in there now, so I guess we'll see how that goes.
All right. Well, anyway, today I had the unfortunate task of attending a funeral. I had to get up early because I had to do a bit of driving and go attend the funeral of my dad's sister, my aunt. And I think, trying to recount here, I think she's my last aunt that I have.
So how many, other than your sisters, do you have anybody else alive?
Just my dad.
Wow, and your dad, wow.
Yep.
Ending quickly.
Yeah, it's all winding down to a close.
Mm-hmm.
And
you think you'll see them all? You think you'll see them all go?
I don't know that answer. It's, I don't even know to think about that stuff. But, on the way home, of course, when you attend these things, you think about your own mortality.
Sure. And
the weird damn thing is while I'm in the car driving, I thought I'd check out a couple of the segments from last week's show.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that comes on is our pal from out there in Las Vegas asking, after if Neeley dies, Will the show go on?
Nice.
Yeah. So that's what I was listening to, and it was kind of sad. It was good to see everybody. Most of my brother, or not my brother, but my sisters and their husbands and stuff, and my nephew and my nephews showed up for this, and we went out and had some food and drinks afterwards, and kind of hung out and shot the shit and that kind of stuff. But it's kind of a sad thing. I thought my dad would make the trip because it's his only sister.
Right.
But he just didn't feel like he was up to it. I think, he's just get to that point now where it's just like, there's just too much going on. I just can't be around a lot of activity.
Right. Yeah. What is he, 85 or something?
No, he just turned 90.
90. Yeah. He's done traveling.
Yeah. His sister, who passed away, she was 92.
Dude, if he gets to the mailbox and back, consider it a good day. 90?
Well, he's very active for a 90-year-old. He still gardens and brush hogs with his tractor and builds bird houses and tends beehives and shit like that.
He's doing way more than us.
Well, he's always kept active, He's always been active. I mean, the guy retired at 55.
Damn, he's been retired for 35 years?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But, the thing is that he's always been very enterprising and done stuff. He's always been doing stuff.
Right.
So he's never stopped moving. The guy just is always, he's one of those early risers. He's up at 5, making the coffee, reading the newspaper. Once the sun finally comes up and the dew is off the grass, he goes out there and checks his garden and, all that stuff,
Crazy.
Yeah. He's more motivated than I am about getting up in the morning.
I know.
Yeah, he's always been that way, though.
Dude, you remember not even that long ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was up at like 5, 6 in the morning and just going until like 2 in the morning or whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm really finding that hard to do now.
Yeah.
It's real, and because I don't have to get up, there's been a lot of days lately where it's like 8:30, 9, 10, it's like, fuck it. What am I going to do between 8 and 10? Nothing. So I'll just sleep till 10.
Yeah. I have never been an early riser. Never.
I used to be.
Never. I mean, I've had to do it all my life, but I've never been an early riser. When I lived in California, back between 85 and 91, right. When I worked for Roadway, I had a very sweet schedule. They had a thing called 7 on and 7 off. Mm-hmm. And you work 7 days straight. You start on Monday, work all the way through Sunday, and then you get 7 days off.
Did they give you sleep?
Well, yeah. I mean, you work 12-hour shifts.
Okay.
So you work 12 hours for 7 days straight, and then you get 7 days off.
Oh, that would rule.
Yeah, and it did rule. And believe me, the weeks that I was off, I never got up I didn't get out of bed till 2 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right. But boy, that Monday back was a bitch.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I would be. There's a John Mellencamp song. I believe it's called Rumble Seat, and there's a line in that song that I related to. And it goes, "The sun is coming up. I'm just going to bed."
Right.
It's because I used to run around, to the club. I used to, if I wasn't DJing at the club or something, I'd go to the club and then I'd hook up with a couple of chicks and,
sure,
we'd go eat some late breakfast or something. And, it's just like, so you going home or what are you doing? Oh, I guess I'll go crash at your house for a while,
Right.
And then I'd get up and all sticky and 4:30 in the afternoon. It's like, you got to go.
Beat it.
Yeah. I got to get up and have my coffee while everybody's just coming home from work.
Yeah, no shit.
I just loved it, man. That was just the greatest time.
Yeah. I don't understand. And let me preface this. I do understand from the standpoint of, you got to get up early in the morning to go to work. So I understand from that point, but I really can't relate to people that go to bed early. I have friends that are roughly my age, and I'm not young, I'm not old. I'm right in that crossing over from young to old, I guess, at 50. And I have friends that go to bed at like 8:30.
Yeah.
9 o'clock. And I'm like, 8:39. I could not even, it's not unusual for me to take a nap at 8 o'clock. It's really not, to just take a nap for an hour at 8 o'clock and then just be up till 4 in the morning. I can't fathom. First of all, I like being up better at night than during the day.
Yeah,
during the day blows.
Yeah, I do too. I'm the same way.
You're up during the day and you got all these fucking cocksuckers calling you, trying to sell you some shit, and or now it's robocalls all fucking day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We would like to tell you that you have been pre-qualified for your first home.
Click.
Gee, have I? Thanks. I've been in this home for fucking 16 years, you cocksucker.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, yeah, I know. My current gig, I have to be up by 6.
Right.
But I don't go to bed till like 11, 10:30 or 11, Mm-hmm. And I love to sleep and stuff, but I like to be up too. I like to watch a movie. I like to scan the YouTube. I like to just kind of hang out. Like to have a couple of drinks now and again.
Sure.
I'm not ready to go to bed at 8:30. I mean, hell, I remember going to bed at 8:30 when I was a kid. It was summertime. It's like the sun is still out.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I just, I get so much more done at night. During the day, I mean, I'm working and I'm doing that kind of shit, but truthfully, during the day, I'm doing shit I don't want to do. At night, I'm doing shit I really want to do. Working on this video stuff or writing my books or, whatever. That's stuff I actually give a fuck about.
Right.
So, and I can do it without anybody calling me. During the day, it's constant. It's like a constant, hey, we need to discuss this bill, or we need to discuss what you're doing with this program, or what, it's constant. And then I get to 6, 7 o'clock at night, phone doesn't ring anymore. I can listen to what I want to. I put on these new Cohen E7 headphones and just blast, full fucking blast, blow my head off with tunes, and it's just a better vibe for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Fucking day vibe. I hate it.
Well, it's an unfortunate, thing for most people who have normal jobs, and,
yeah.
But, yeah, I long for those days when I used to do that. And then, of course, when I was out on the road driving a truck, my schedule is just all over the map.
Right.
But if I could drive during the night, that's what I preferred, just because traffic wasn't as bad, and,
right.
there weren't hardly anybody on the road, and
less cops.
Yeah. And I would just try to get out there and shit and get where I have to be.
Right. No, I get it. And Pope, you're absolutely wrong about Pope said, Chris isn't in the grind. He is a business owner. When you got to get up at 5 a.m., you go to fucking bed. That's not true. Because in all my days when I used to work, I never went to bed at like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or whatever. When my day jobs, most of my day jobs started at 6:30 in the morning. I always tried to get the earliest off shift available so I could leave at like 2, and I would still stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning. Dude, you remember back when I was doing Music's Bottom Line?
Yeah.
I would work 6:30 to 2:30 Monday through Thursday. Then I would come home and drink and write while I was drinking.
Right.
Till about 2 in the morning. Sleep 4 hours and repeat. And then on Friday, I would work 6:30 to 2:30, come home, take a nap, and then go back and then work a 9 to 9 from Saturday night to Sunday morning.
Sure.
Or Friday night to Saturday morning, rather. So, I mean, I've always been that guy, that fucking energizer bunny.
Yeah.
I always had that to not... Sleep seems like a waste of time. I'll get plenty of it here in a few years.
I'll sleep when I'm dead, huh?
Exactly.
I hear you. Well, you know what happens when you put the batteries in backwards in the Energizer Bunny, right?
What's that? It jerks off.
He keeps coming and coming and coming.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Exactly. So anyway, that was my afternoon, between getting up for a Saturday. I never get up early on a Saturday, but because of circumstances, I was up and, doing stuff and driving and doing all the things, and then coming back here and doing a little video test with you, and then start working on the actual computers and the servers and all that other stuff. So we have a show tonight.
Yeah, no shit. Now, you like the video, right?
Yeah, video looks awesome.
Fuck everybody that says that we couldn't do a TV show.
Yeah, all the tweaks and adjustments that you made, and all the what you've learned with the software and recording and everything. Maybe you should just kind of give people a little rundown about what we're talking about if they're not aware of it already.
Sure. Well, the truth to our show, our lives, me and Neeley, since we've been partnered on the show, has always been to try and be ahead of the curve. Always.
Meaning ahead of anybody who does this style of entertainment or puts out some kind of a video audio broadcast.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Since you left, really before you left, because when you were on WSTB,
right, we
were the very first ones doing long form streaming.
True.
I don't even remember big stations doing long form streaming. Do you?
No, I don't. Point. No, we were definitely ahead of the curve when it came to making the show available online for to listen.
And believe me, I nearly got divorced many, many times when I would take those tapes that you would, because Neeley he would do the show till 3 a.m, and then he would drive, what's my house, about 10 miles from the studio?
10 miles from the studio. I had 90-minute cassette tapes.
3 or 4 of those fuckers.
Yeah, there were 4.
Just set them in my mailbox.
Yeah, there were 4 of them. 4 90-minute cassette tapes, and I taped the entire 6-hour show.
Right. Then I would take it when I got up in the morning, and I had a tape recorder set up into my computer, and I had to manually play those and record them all 6 hours.
Basically bounce it down to an MP3 format.
Right. And then I had to bounce. Well, back then it was to a wave, and then you had to use another program to bounce it to Real Player or whatever.
Right, because MP3 really wasn't the standard yet, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Back then it was like Real Audio, I think wasn't that what we were using?
Yeah, it was Real Audio. Yeah, absolutely.
But it was to get the show online was a 12 to 14 hour process. And it was every single Sunday I would get up early and I would go out to the mailbox and start those tapes running. And, believe me, the wife, she'd want to go do something on Sunday. Nope, I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm burning tapes.
Yeah, it's no wonder she left, right?
But yeah, this was like 1999, 2000 when we started that.
Yeah. So we did that, and we were way ahead of the curve for a while. And then about, 4 or 5 was when I decided to learn podcasting. It was brand new.
Well, basically, I started because I moved here in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to go strictly to internet only. And so we were doing internet broadcast live.
Right. Mm-hmm.
With our own gear.
Right.
Yeah. So I purchased some computers and got the audio gear and everything, and I rigged it up and had T1 line, which the only way that, and here's the funny thing, I had to drive to St. Joe, Michigan,
right,
which was an hour away from where I was living.
Right.
And I had to drive up there and go into this warehouse. It was a warehouse that my former brother-in-law and I were partnered in. It was a GM warehouse where they housed the replacement machinery that goes into the plants.
Right.
And they had an office there, and the only place that they had high-speed internet was a T1 line at an office.
Right.
And so I had an office inside the warehouse that I made my studio, and I had to drive up there every Saturday and do the show solo in this big, dark warehouse.
Right.
But we made it work.
We made it work, and boy, we were playing to nobody, too. We were playing to, what,
12
people?
Yeah, 12, 15 people.
It was nobody. It was back in the early days of Live 365.
Yeah, but the thing is nobody else was doing it either.
Yeah, no. And we stuck to it, and the technology got better. And we, I was always partnered with all of the radio stations that we were on once internet radio started taking off. We were always kind of the flagship show for all of the stations we were on.
Yeah, and not only that, but most guys who wanted to get into doing some kind of a radio thing, they were always either emailing you or emailing me. How do you guys do that? What kind of equipment do you use? What do I need to do to get that set up to do this?
Sure, absolutely.
So we were the technical gurus for everybody else.
Yeah. And so we did that, and then somewhere in there, when did we start actually podcasting?
2005 or 2006.
Yeah, it was a while ago now. But what people don't remember, when podcasting was new, it wasn't like now. Now you can just upload your shit and it publishes everywhere. Back when we used to do it, I would take the big file, which would took you hours to upload it, because you had to upload it, then I had to download it and cut it.
Yeah, and this was when you didn't have the Comcast speeds and stuff that you had today. This was pretty slow, so it would literally take about 3 hours to upload a 6-hour show.
If it didn't stall.
Yeah.
And if it stalled, you had to start over. But you would get it uploaded, I would download it, then I had to cut it into pieces. Then I had to write the code.
Yeah.
To write all the iTunes code, by hand. And then submit it to iTunes and ping iTunes once a week so that they would update the show. It was a major fucking hassle week to week to week to get it done.
Yeah.
It really was a pain in the ass.
Yep. But, then as things progressed and internet got better and new programs became available and, the Spreaker was a godsend.
Yeah, no kidding.
The way whoever invented the Spreaker, basically I cut up the show now and I just upload it to Spreaker and hit publish, and it goes out to all the outlets at the same time.
Right. Yeah, it's great. It's so easy. But so we've upgraded and upgraded through that. You've constantly upgraded the equipment, constantly.
Yeah, because I always wanted our sound to be pristine.
And we've gone through so many different iterations of things. And what ended up happening, though, was I honestly think that we were starting at the beginning of this year is when this all started, this video thing. I felt like at the beginning of this year we were getting caught up on.
Yeah, I think so. And the thing is that we were approached literally years ago by Eric Braverman and people, hey, you guys ought to do a video of your show. You ought to do a video. And we experimented with it here and there. But there was latency. You could, the cameras weren't good. The audio between us wasn't good. There was a delay. And it was just like, well, we could do the video, but I don't want to do it that way. If it doesn't look great, I don't even want to do it. I don't want to put it out there.
Exactly. So we waited. We waited and we kept waiting. And I've been, for my personal business, for my IT business, I've been getting more and more requests about video this year. So I started learning video a lot this year. And I've made millions of dollars quite literally now based on things that I've learned with the CMS.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've taught myself everything on the CMS. I don't have like an IT degree or any of that shit. I learned to develop websites building the CMS website.
Well, same way with me when it comes to computers and stuff. I didn't know shit about computers. In fact, you gave me my first computer.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have one.
Yeah, you were on web TV.
I was on web TV, but now I can hook up all kinds of networks and fix computers and sync them all in, and all that stuff. And I just did that all on my own.
Sure, and now you're at your job. You're the go-to IT guy.
Yeah, I'm the resident IT guy,
which is great. But yeah, I mean, I've always used the CMS to learn different things. And because it gives me such a platform, as a tech guy, this thing gives me a platform to learn different things that I can use in my business. So, being that video is popular right now, I just decided somewhere this year that this was going to be the year we were going to get it together.
Right.
And I started messing around with it for a little while at the beginning of the year. But once my foot got fucked up, and I had nothing to do except lay in bed, that's when I really kicked this thing into overdrive.
Absolutely.
I had nothing to do. So instead of doing what everybody else does when they're laid up, I didn't just sit there and watch, porn and, and movies. I pulled up YouTube and taught myself video editing.
Right.
I watched about 50 different video editing, classes. I took classes on through YouTube, and just have taught myself. And I bought a program and I put it on all my computers, and I started dicking around with the way that we could record with Skype. And now I've literally used this program called OBS, which is free. Anybody can use it, but I figured out, I don't want to say all, but quite a few of the bells and whistles at this point, to where our thing looks like a fucking television show.
It does. Absolutely. I mean, after you've, and you won't see Chris in the green tent anymore, of those of you who have seen, any of our videos before.
Yeah, we fixed that this week. Got 2 ring lights now, which are making me sweat like nobody's business because they are fucking hot. but I got the lighting fixed, so I got the green screen working, and I mean, you saw the video today, dude. This shit is like mint.
It is.
It's, got concert footage behind me and you, and got your studio, and got me with Cleveland out my back window kind of a look, and it looks fucking great. I'm so happy right now.
Yeah.
And it's at a good time, because we didn't announce it last week. I guess we can announce it now. For fans that have always said, you guys need to do something that'll make you money, the Bob Nalbandians of the world.
Yeah.
We've always resisted that. Always.
Well, we've resisted begging for money.
Yeah. We're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And for months, and Neeley will tell you this, I'll say it and he'll agree. For months, I had been working on a Patreon page. I had been trying to build it and building tiers, and you guys probably heard me talking about the secret project. That was me trying to get us a Patreon page built. And as the further we got into it, the further I just didn't like it. Neeley didn't really tell me not to do it or anything. It was just, in my head, it felt like we were doing exactly what we've bashed everybody about, which is begging. It just didn't feel right. You agree?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was just like, hey, visit our Patreon page and throw a couple of nickels in our can.
Yeah, exactly. So what we have always said, and what we'll continue to say, is if we sell anything, it's going to be a product, something extra, something that you get, something that is not the show. We're not going to sell the show. The show is today, will always remain free. I can't imagine any reason that we would ever take the audio away. Can you?
I mean, what's the point in doing that? I mean, everybody offers audio now for nothing. Yeah. So, and we were the first ones to do it anyway. So, exactly. No, we will never take the free audio away.
Right. But for those that want to support the show and have claimed forever that they want to support the show, we've now created a product that you can support the show with, which is the video subscription service, which is is online now. And with it, you can support I built different tiers so that people can support at whatever level they want to. You can either buy one video or you can rent one video for $1 and support that way. You can buy a video if you see something you want to keep it forever for like, what is it, $2.99 to buy it and download it and keep it for yours. Or you can sign up and subscribe once a month, and with that, you'll get every video that we do that are now looking like TV show videos, where you can really see Neeley and I doing the show. And I'll post some of the videos this week once we get into it, where I'm doing all the screen switching and shit so that you can see the, how it works more like a TV show with scenes and stuff working. But that stuff is all going to be in the subscription service, as well as Neeley and I are going to be doing at least two shows per month extra that will only be available on the streaming service. So you'll get your money's worth. You'll definitely get if you sign up for the streaming service, you're going to get your money's worth, I would say.
Yeah, you'll get your bang for your buck.
Exactly. So that's kind of what we're doing with the subscription service. And if people want to sign up for it, it is Vimeo.com/on-demand/CMS Studio, or you can just go to theclassicmetalshow.com and you'll see the button at the top that says subscribe. Click that, and then it'll take you to the page.
So if you want to watch something and you feel like you want to get something for your money, you'll get a little something for your money.
Yeah, exactly. No freebies. We're not shaking the fucking pan. We're just not going to do that. No, let me answer these questions. PC, you're not going to have to pay for the archived audio. The audio is always going to be free.
That'll be free.
We're not taking anything that's already on YouTube or BitChute or Dailymotion or whatever is going to stay there. We're not deleting anything. But we are going to put stuff up, and this is something I haven't talked to you about yet, but it is something I plan to do, is I plan to get with you and get the old tapes and slowly but surely put some of the really old stuff up. The 1997, 1998, the before Chris Aiken stuff even.
Yeah. I don't know how much content would be there because the majority of it is music, so.
I'm sure there'd be some. I'm sure there's some people that want to hear that stuff, though.
Yeah, I have all that stuff. But boy, that's an arduous task.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying do it all at once. I'm saying
of course.
We could do like one show a month or something like that. But that's the deal. As always, we are not going to be pandering. There's a bit commercial that runs when you log in on Spreaker. That's the extent of the pandering that we're going to do. We're not going to be doing infomercials for it here on the show. We'll probably mention it every now and again, but we're not going to be like in between every song, hey, by the way, subscribe.
Yeah.
That's not going to be happening.
Either you want it or you don't.
Yeah. Just like everything else with the show.
Yeah. But, as Brett Michaels would say, you want it.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the simple thought is, Neeley and I, we both know we're not going to get a side salary out of this shit. I'll just tell you, the expenses are, the Vimeo is about $300 a year. The Spreaker is what, 800 or 600 or something a year?
It's $550.
$550 a year. The web hosting is $180 a year.
My monthly Comcast bill is $90 a month.
Yeah, and mine is $110. And I've put in, I don't know, $400 or $500 worth of software, but I'm writing that off as Aiken IT because I'll use it for business. But I have spent it. So
and I basically, for those of you who like to buy shirts and hats and stuff, that's basically a break-even deal for me.
Sure. And speaking of that, and you're not aware of this yet, but I had a discussion with Sammy. And there's a pretty good, I'm working something up. I'll get your approval before we do it. But I'm looking at possibly doing some CMS exclusive shirts for people that subscribe.
All right, that's cool.
Like if they subscribe for 6 months or something, we'll throw them a shirt that they can only get from the from being being on the subscription.
You're in the special club.
Yeah, you're in the cool club.
It's a special club shirt.
Yeah. I just haven't decided if I'm going to put profanity on it or not. Probably not.
Right.
Everybody's big pussies. I would wear it, but I'd be the only one probably.
Yeah. Well, so somewhere down the road, people always ask me about the button-down shirts that I wear, the black ones.
Sure.
The short sleeve ones. Well, somewhere down the road, I want to find a cool design for one of those and offer those shirts as a CMS shirt.
Sure.
Kind of like the Lucky 13 shirts that I wear and things like that. It has like a little embroidery on the above the chest on the left side, and then it's got some kind of a graphic on the back, which of course would be a CMS graphic of some kind.
Yeah. Rex.
Well, I know it'll incorporate him, but I don't want it to be just that. I want it to have like something extra.
Be Rex with a big hand put sort of in a fist but open, and it'll say hand job underneath.
Exactly. So yeah, somewhere down the road, I want to figure out how to have some kind of a design for the back of a shirt like that, and offer those, because those are popular shirts, because everybody wants to dress like me.
Oh yeah, everybody wants the cool shirts. Well, I think the shirts are a good idea. I just, it's one of those things. I'm at a, and I don't know how you feel about this, but I'm at a catch-22 point with this. There's a part of me that would like to change up the shirts. Yeah,
well, I agree. It's just a matter of coming up with some, new design.
True. But those shirts are starting to pop up everywhere.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And I would hate to switch to a new shirt that's not as noticeable.
Right.
I like the fact that every time any one of our fans goes to a show, we get a picture of two guys wearing a CMS shirt.
Yeah.
And whenever we talk to bands, I was talking to Eric Ferentinos and Billy Morris. I did Now Bandian's podcast on Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely.
And ironically, both of those guys have worn the CMS shirts on stage.
They have.
Which is cool. But they both, before we got started into the podcast, they both were talking about how many CMS shirts they're seeing at shows.
Yeah.
They both said, yeah, I see those shirts out there.
Yeah, Don tells me that all the time. He says, yeah, I saw a few of your shirts out in the audience, at such and such a show.
Right. And that's just like, I know I should be, like jaded to that or something, but I still just get a kick out of that. It's just hilarious to me that people listen to this shit, us rambling about sex dolls and Confederate flags and shit, and they buy the shirts and they wear them. They go out and represent this shit.
Yeah, they go out there and even our good friend Tex Nation there, he went to the JFK shooting site.
Right.
With his CMS shirt. I did that a few years ago. I actually took a CMS shirt and put it right on the X.
Right.
And took a picture of it right on the street. And I took a picture of it. I had it hung up on the grassy knoll on the picket fence.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Like I said, now we know who the secret shooter was. It was Rex.
It was Rex.
Yeah. Look at him. He's on the picket fence.
Didn't Tex Nation also wear his CMS shirt out to the pissing plaza?
Well, he did. I turned the fans on to a place over in Dallas. I corresponded with the guy who owns the place. It's an IT business, strangely enough, and and the guy's name is Chris as well.
Right.
And I corresponded with him, and so Tex Nation had to go to the parking lot where all the cars get towed for parking in a no parking zone, and took several pictures in the parking lot where the cars get towed.
That's awesome. So you talked to the guy that owns it?
I emailed back and forth with him.
Why hasn't he been on the show
Well,
yet?
I threw an invite out to him. I sent him Tex Nation's photos. I said, hey, one of my crazy fans showed up in your parking lot. I'm sure you caught him on your camera. I said, by the way, if you'd like to make a call into the show, we'd be glad to have you, but I haven't heard from him. So
That would be fun if we get that guy on.
Yeah, I did throw the invite out.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, dude, speaking of getting guys on, we're going to have a fairly big name on this week. I told you about that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Don Felder from the Eagles.
Yeah, nice.
How fucking cool is that?
That's a nice get.
Dude, I'm an interview in heaven right now. I interviewed Last Crack on Friday, which to me, I know to a lot of people that means nothing, but to me, it was like the first time I interviewed James Hetfield or Dio or somebody. I was literally sitting here nerved up like a little girl. I was like, all right, don't sound too anxious. Don't sound too anxious. Don't get too, And then the guy's name is Butto. And I was like, oh, man, how you doing, Butto? And just I was listening back to the interview, and I was like, oh, my God. I even asked a what's it like question.
That's what happens when you get distracted.
I totally did. I totally asked a what's it like question, and it's an interesting interview to say the least. One of the things is, remember Bob Nalbandian said that he worked Last Crack for Roadrunner?
Yeah. He's a big fan.
Yeah, he's a huge fan. Well, I mentioned Nalbandian's name to Butto.
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Like he didn't know who he was, or he doesn't like Bob, or what?
I got the feeling he didn't like Bob.
Really? Okay.
I don't know if that's true or not. He wasn't like, it wasn't one of those deals.
It was just like dead silence.
Just dead silence. So I moved right the fuck on. But
okay.
But it was fun because I said, yeah, we have a mutual acquaintance, that worked your record, Bob Nalbandian. And moving forward, it's
kind of like mentioning Eric Braverman to the guys over at Flotsam and Jetsam.
Right. Yeah, and they don't want nothing to do with that guy.
Nope.
Too funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a good week, and I personally, and I know you know this because I've called you 18 times about this fucking video service.
Well, after seeing what you did with it and seeing the product today.
Yeah,
I think that anybody who wants to, spend a couple of dollars, I think you're really going to be pleased with this.
Yeah, you're definitely. I'll just tell everybody straight up. My benchmark was to do better than what Joe Rogan's doing. That was my benchmark. And not better show-wise. I'm certainly not trying to shit on Joe's show. I actually enjoy Joe's show when he has cool guests on and whatnot. But I wanted to have a better, I think he has good video presentation.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have at least that good, if not better. And I think I'm not going to stroke my own ego, but I honestly believe I really fucking figured it out to make it a better presentation.
Right.
Do you agree? Or?
Yeah. Well, I agree with that. I mean, if you've ever subscribed to anything like, the Compound Media, Anthony Cumia,
mm-hmm.
and oftentimes they pan the camera over to the control room.
Right.
He's got 3 and 4 guys working his show,
right,
just to get it, broadcast and recorded and controlling the mics and controlling.
Sure.
It's just Chris and I.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, up until the video part, I pretty much control everything.
Yeah, I just turn on.
No, I do the audio end here, run the show basically. Now Chris is running the video control room now.
Right, exactly.
So he's busy on his end. I'm busy on my end, making the show happen.
Right, exactly. You're getting an energetic show these days. We got to really focus to do a good show.
Yeah, no kidding.
We can't. It's not like the old days where I could just sit here, get drunk, and do it.
Right. Well, years ago, Russ Dorff of the Killer Dorfs, came down here to the studio,
right,
and that was one of the funniest shows that we've ever had.
Oh yeah, that was me on Click Overload.
Right. Well, Russ came down with his little backpacker guitar,
right,
and he actually performed live here in the studio, and we were cutting up and whatnot, and he kept asking, where's your producer? Where does the staff sit?
Right.
It's like, what staff? Well, the guys who run the show, who run the audio and stuff, it's all right here. It's just me.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't believe that we were running the show just from one of the quote unquote the hosts.
Sure.
We're running the show and doing the show, and obviously linking up with Chris over in Ohio, and it's like this is amazing.
Well, we've spent thousands of hours perfecting this shit. That's for sure.
Absolutely. So we're in the video age now. So we hope you will check it out. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
What's up, fuckies? It's Pope.
Hey, what's up there, jalapeno?
Listen, man, I am officially a Classic Metal Show video subscriber.
Wow. Did you do that just since we've been talking?
I certainly have.
Wow. How about that?
I'm wondering if I'm the first.
No, you are the third.
Cocksucker. Son of a bitch. Fucking figures. All right. I was thinking about Mark Levine's service, and I said, fuck it. I'm going to go Classic Metal Show.
Mark Levine? You mean the Blaze TV?
Yeah. No, I still might do that, but I'll tell you what, I'm happy that you're finally giving us an opportunity to do something.
Well, we wanted to give something back to you if you were going to invest any kind of money.
Well, thank you. So I am happy because I listened to the shit out of it during the week driving. That fucking trucker segment I'm swearing a lot tonight. That trucker segment you guys did where Chris said, just picturing Chris with his father listening to yodeling. It was just fucking hilarious. I love that his old man didn't budge either. It was like, fuck you. I'm in control of this. This is what we're going to do for 16 straight hours, and you're going to fucking live with it.
Isn't that what all of our dads did back in those days? We didn't have any say.
Absolutely.
Well, my dad's fave was Eddie Arnold.
That is great. You gotta love the old men back in the day, man.
my dad actually bought Eddie Arnold records.
Oh, I love the way they used to teach back in the day. I used to have to go to summer school because I was a fuck up, and my dad would be driving, and he made me take the bus because it was summer school, and he'd pull up next to all of us when he was leaving for work, and he'd say, "Hey, geniuses, have a good fucking day," and he'd just cruise on by us. Not giving a shit. But that is exactly how they taught back in the day.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm glad you did it, and I just joined.
Well, cool. Well, make sure you I don't know what you watch TV with, but if you have anything that uses smart TV, whether it's Roku or a smart TV itself or Amazon or Apple TV or whatever, install the Vimeo app, because then you can watch it on your TV if you want to. You're not locked into your computer or your phone. You can watch it on anything. It's pretty sweet.
Wow, all that Neeley handsomeness. I don't know if I can have my woman around that. She might just up and fucking leave me. I'm not too worried about you, Chris.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either.
All right, guys. Hail and kill.
Hail
Fuck
and
you,
kill. Well, there goes our third subscriber.
There we go. PC in the chat room. Get a refund, Pope. Already people hating on it.
Yeah, well, you know what? The thing is those of you who want that service, you're gonna get your money's worth.
Yep, you're gonna get content that nobody else is gonna get, and you're gonna get the video stuff. So it's all good.
Yeah. And Chris has been working his ass off on this for weeks.
I have. It's been. I have some customers that probably wish I'd work on their shit as hard as I've worked on this.
Yeah. Well, now you've perfected it, at least on our end, and you'll be able to offer it out there for real money.
Exactly. It looks really good, dude. You know how we tested this afternoon to make sure everything was perfect.
Yep.
I was emailing you 100 meg files to look at this and sound of this, whatever. don't you know, as soon as I sat in here, I got no audio. I was like, son of a bitch. And then I had to fucking figure out what had gotten turned off. But apparently I had unplugged something when I was plugging in. I got my second set of lights today.
Okay.
And they're USB powered. So apparently when I plugged them in, something disconnected, and I had to figure that all out. But all good. But man, I was so pumped to come in here at 8 o'clock because we had it all worked out. I was just going to turn it on. It was going to be great. Turned it on. Nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, son of a bitch.
I was the same way with the server too. I was just like, holy shit. I actually had a text written out to you. You might want to be prepared to run the show from your end because the server is acting fucky.
Well, I'm glad that didn't happen. Yeah. I don't know what I would have done. Well, I guess I do. I would have closed all this shit down and there would have been no video this week, but but yeah, dude, I can't wait now. You know what I'm excited about doing now?
What's that?
Multi-shows. Because this software that I have, I can add up to 8 cameras.
Nice.
So now I'm going to buy a bunch of cameras. I already have 3. So I'll try with 3, but the next time I have like guests or like a solo show or something, or you're in town or something,
right?
We'll set up a second set of cameras on you, and then we can do like a multi-screen thing. It's fucking cool, man.
Cool.
I'm excited about this whole video thing. I know the fans are probably like, all right, we get it. It's fucking pictures. But look, it's not very often I get excited about
It's a new toy, man.
It is a new toy. It's a very shiny new toy. And when you guys see it, you're going to be like, wow, that does really look good. There's no way people look at this and think, all right, that's amateur hour.
Yeah. And from 2 different locations, no less.
Yeah, no shit. It's like we're running like CNN doing an interview live on the scene. It's fucking great.
Yeah, very nice. All right, well, I'm ready for a little break here.
Yeah, me too.
You sent me the brand new White Snake.
Yeah.
Pick a tune from that because I want to listen to it. I haven't had a chance to even break it out yet. So
just pick. I don't know any of the song titles. Pick something that's not "Shut Up and Kiss Me" because I hate that song.
Yeah, I'm not digging that at all. Well, how about if we go with Heart of Stone?
Sounds good to me.
All right. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We'll be back. We'll do some more stuff. So here's something brand new from White Snake from Flesh and Blood.
Yes.
You'd think they'd come up with a better title because everybody's done Flesh and Blood.
Look at the fucking album cover. It's like the same album cover they used before, like on Slip of the Tongue.
Of course.
Like the same cover.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to do a little throwback and make it, fit right in the catalog.
They threw it back to not having to pay an artist.
Exactly. All right, let's check out a little bit of White Snake. Here it is. It's from the Flesh and Blood release, and this is Heart of Stone exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Hey, everybody, this is Joel Hoekstra from White Snake, and you're listening to the Classic Metal Show.